Hello, hello, everyone, especially Bond fans. Welcome to this very special live stream where today we are going to be live streaming and reacting to the second trailer for No Time to Die, the 25th Bond movie, the very long-awaited fifth and final film in Daniel Craig's tenure. Unfortunately, the film was delayed due to the coronavirus pandemic. It was meant to be out in April, but sadly, the film had to be delayed, inevitably. But the film is officially going to be out in 2 months' time in November, and they have confirmed this with a new poster and now a new trailer. So this is very exciting news. So, yes, I'm here with Jack, the film fanatic. So say hello, Jack.
Hey!
So, yeah, we're going to react to the trailer and then give a discussion on it, basically. So that's that. So, Jack, do you want to say anything before we begin?
No, just really hyped for this trailer and hyped for a new Bond film finally after 5 years off our screens.
Yeah. Half a decade in the waiting since Spectre, but let's hope it's worth it. Okay, so I'm going to play the trailer in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh my god. Oh my god.
The past isn't dead.
Bond looks rough in this.
That music.
Fate draws us back together. Now your enemy is my enemy.
Oh, this is so good.
What does he want?
Revenge.
When her secret finds its way out, it'll be the death of you.
Interesting.
There's a young lady in Santiago I want you to meet.
You're late.
When you're ready. So, I met your new 00. She's a disarming young woman.
I get why you shot him. Yeah, well, everyone tries at least once.
James Bond. We both eradicate people to make the world a better place.
Oh my god.
I just want to be a little tidier.
That lair.
Come on, Bond. Where the hell are you?
It's a great trailer.
You know the flower artist?
Nope.
Harder to tell the good from bad, villains from heroes these days.
What is it?
You don't know what this is. He's going to kill millions.
If we don't do this, there will be nothing left to save.
Oh my god. Okay. Wow. I'm kind of. Oh, whew. That was all kind of. Well, it's hard to know where to begin. Really, there was so much to digest there. Fuck, that was impressive. Do you wanna go ahead and start? I'm kind of lost for words at the moment.
Yeah, well, this is the first time we've seen the trailer, so it's going to be hard to recall everything. But basically, it's I'd say 85 to 90% a new trailer. There's some shots from the old trailers, but it's mostly all new footage. But no, I was curious at the bit where Bond burns the letter that says "Forgive me." I thought that was quite interesting. you got more stuff with Blofeld, and he says, "Oh, your enemy is my enemy," which was pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
hinting at the fact that Blofeld isn't going to be the main. Well, I mean, I didn't think he was going to be the main villain anyway, but this guy Safin, Blofeld maybe hates him more than Bond.
Yeah,
You
and
got
he's
some.
Staffin obviously is someone who is probably a lot more deadly than Spectre, which I think is really interesting. But Spectre obviously have a place in the film. But yeah, like you say, Blofeld isn't really all that powerful in this one.
Yeah, and he obviously hates this guy Safin as much as Bond because he says, "Oh, your enemy is my enemy," which is
Mhm.
interesting. Got some other nice shots as well, like you got Ana de Armas kicking arse, which is quite cool.
Hmm.
And you've got Ray Fiennes' sorry, not Blofeld. Ray Fiennes' M, which looks pretty cool. A lot of new like action shots, which look pretty good. It'll be
Yeah,
interesting as well to see. Uh, it'll be interesting as well to see Felix Leiter back in this film, like what his role is and stuff
yeah.
within the
I
main
love,
narrative.
I love the line where he said about you can't tell who the heroes and the villains are, or something like that. I thought that was a really great line, very sort of poetic, actually.
Yeah, but there's a lot of like good action in there. There's obviously the stuff with Safin, like we get more dialogue with him, like when Bond's in the car. It was cool to see a bit more of that bridge action scene at the start. You see him jump off the bridge in the first trailer, but here you see him like hanging on and like letting go and stuff. That was
Yeah,
kind of cool.
I think
Yeah,
the action looks incredible. I don't know about you, but I think the action is going to be epic for this one.
yeah. Well, it better be. It's Daniel Craig's last film, so you want the action to be good.
Yeah,
Great even. Yeah.
and judging from that, it's sort of there's a lot to take in, but they obviously showed a lot more action in this trailer, which I appreciate. The first trailer was, I guess, more of a, I guess it was it was an extended teaser, really. It was just kind of an intriguing build up to this trailer, but this is the proper theatrical trailer, and I think what I take away from this is also the cinematography looks incredible. I mean, I don't know who Cary Fukunaga hired to be his DOP, but the film looks beautiful. I mean, there's some great shots. There's a shot of Bond and Madeline in the car I think in Italy or whatever, and like when she mentions Safin as well, and Safin's lair. Oh my god, his lair looks amazing. We see a bit of the outside of his lair as well. I mean, I don't know about the whole Doctor No thing. I'm still kind of dubious about that. I hope he's not Doctor No, but the lair could suggest that he is Doctor No or someone akin to that. Anyway, I mean, I think he's probably going to be his own character, but yeah, there's basically it gives you the trailer gave us kind of an insight into Safin's motivations. I wouldn't say it gives it away. I think there's still a big mystery. And I think there's still going to be a lot to find out when we see the film. But Zachary says Linus Sandgren, who shot La La Land. Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, good cinematographer. But I think the action is going to be incredible, and nice to have a bit more aerial action as well. Like there's a part when Bond and Nomi, Lashana Lynch, are in an aircraft. So it's nice to see them get quite a bit to do. But I mean, they didn't show too much of Lashana Lynch this time, so that was interesting. And I like the moment when she was talking with Moneypenny as well. Nice to see a bit more of Q and Moneypenny, even ever briefly. But yeah, and like you say, Ana de Armas kicking ass. It's it looks pretty incredible. But yeah,
Yeah. On the situation about Safin being Doctor No, I don't think he is Doctor No because I don't think Safin's part of Spectre. I think they've said that in the trailers, and from what I've heard, he's not part of Spectre. So I don't think he is Doctor No, and plus he's got that mask, and he looks a lot different to Doctor No. Like he's got some physical scarring on his face. I think he's his own character. I mean, personally, I wouldn't like them to go down the route of it being Doctor No, but I don't think it is Doctor No. Apparently, he's more powerful than Spectre, and Doctor No was part of Spectre, and I don't think Safin is, and Blofeld hates Safin, so I don't think he is Doctor No, but yeah.
And it sounds as well like the plot as well is kind of there's more stakes than the film Spectre, because the plot, it seems like what Safin is doing, whatever that may be, is going to affect everybody on a global scale, because Bond at the end of the trailer says if we don't do this now, there's nothing left to save. So going back to kind of the old Bond films of the whole sort of world dominating plots, something like you know akin to the plots of Doctor No and Spy Who Loved Me and all that, mixed with sort of the gritty Daniel Craig stuff and the emotion and everything. It looks like it will be quite an emotional Bond film. I mean, obviously, this is just the trailer, so trailers can be misleading, and there are things that might be cut. I mean, we don't know, but I'm really happy that they've given us another trailer. And I mean, and to me, it hasn't given anything away, so I can't work out too much about what the plot is. They just kind of give a brief insight into Safin, which I think was probably a nice idea, I suppose. But we only have 2 months to wait, so that's the good thing. that's the good news.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want a trailer to give too much away, because that kind of ruins a movie. Like Terminator Genesis, I remember, sort of gave away that spoiler within a movie, the plot twist that John was a Terminator. But you don't want the same with Bond. You don't want any plot, spoilers in the trailers, because that'll kind of ruin the film a bit. But no, I mean, I kind of like the fact that they're going for a more old style sort of plot for this, because most of the Daniel Craig films have been very different to the plots of like the Roger Moore ones, the Connery ones, even the Brosnan ones. Like Casino Royale mostly dealt with terrorism, like you got all the terrorism at Miami airport, and then Quantum, was finding out who like who was behind it all, and what is Quantum as an organization. And then Skyfall, you had Silva, who I guess he was sort of a terrorist as well. And then the same with Spectre, Blofeld, who's head of Spectre, which is, it stands for Special Executive for Counter, Revenge and Extortion, whatever it is. So it's nice that they're sort of going for a more old-fashioned plot, because if they went for like Bond going after terrorists again, it would be really. It'd just be really predictable and boring. But
I mean, thinking about it now, they've actually used the film Spectre to their advantage, because essentially this film is a continuation from Spectre. I mean, obviously all the Craig films are connected now, but Spectre could serve as a build-up to this film because of the return of Spectre. But this one seems to be taking things on a bigger scale, so I appreciate that. And also, one thing I wanted to talk about was the music. I don't know if the music in the trailer is actually the score that Hans Zimmer has composed for the film, but I loved the arrangement of the Bond themes, particularly in the first few shots where we see the car stunt at the beginning, and then when those people are breaking into the building as well. Yeah, it looks fantastic, and it sounds great. So. And they've clearly spent a long time on this film, but there's some really creepy shots of Safin as well. So I think you're right. There's going to be elements of the plot that are sort of akin to the old film. So I think this one looks like it will be homaging the old ones slightly, although I think it is going to be a very emotionally driven film, which is what appeals to me. And like you say, the note that Bond has when he says "forgive me." Obviously, that I would assume that's from Madeline, and that he's after her betrayal, he's just gonna burn that and just not have anything to do with her. But it looks as though, because she describes Safin to him, he's clearly gonna have to go and find her again, or they'll meet again, and she'll have to give him some information. So, I mean, whether their relationship will fix, I don't know. Probably not, but they might have to work together for the sake of the world. So. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what happens to their relationship, because it looks like it's all going to sort of fall apart, to be honest. But the trailer is great. The trailer was fantastic. And like I said, Ana de Armas is great as well. We now know her involvement in the film. I don't think she's going to be in it that much. I have a feeling Ana de Armas' character is just going to be in that one action scene, and then she'll probably sleep with Bond, and then that'll be it. I mean, that's fine. I don't mind that, but and obviously Felix is there to sort of get them to work together and stuff. But I think there's a lot more to this that we're just gonna have to wait and see for the film. But yeah, I'm excited. I think this could be very good. There's no guarantees it will be very good, but judging from what we can see, it looks very good. I mean, what's your sort of overall feeling about this trailer?
No, I think overall the trailer is very good. Oh yeah, by the way, Ollie commented in the live chat. He said he's a bit nervous for No Time to Die. He said he needs to rewatch Spectre because he wasn't too keen on it at first. But I've also seen Zachary Antle. He said the only thing he says it looks way more sci-fi compared to the world. Looked like Casino Royale to me. I'm not really worried about the film because they've had 5 years to do a Bond film. Of course, they haven't spent all 5 years doing it, but they spent quite a while writing the script and getting the director. And I'm confident this film will be good. I'm confident this film will be good because after the mixed reaction of Spectre, I think the Bond film producers are thinking to themselves, well, this is Daniel Craig's last one. We want to send him off on a real high note. So they've got Kari Fukunaga, who I mean, I haven't really seen any of his work, but I heard he's a very good director. So he's going to be directing this film, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge has written the script. And I I like the idea that it's more of an old-fashioned plot. I think the villain it's to do with cloning, and I mean, I heard from Nick. I'm not sure if this is true, but yeah, apparently that the villain's going to be using this virus to kill people, which is very relevant. And I mean, coincidentally, it's. Coincidentally, it's very. I mean, this film. I think the script was written before that whole, COVID outbreak, but it's very relevant today. So I look forward to it. But the trailer's got me excited. Even what's her name, Lashana Lynch's character. I mean, the clips from the first trailer, I wasn't that keen on her, but from the second trailer, it looks like she won't be in. It looks like she won't be hogging the screen too much, and it doesn't look like she's going to be insulting Bond all the time. I mean, hopefully that's not the case, but
I reckon Shana Lynch personally. I mean, I could be wrong, but it might be that one scene where they introduce her, and Bond is going to put her in her place. I think because she's been described as having a lot of a cocky exterior, and I think she will have to. I think the whole point is that she's going to learn from Bond, because he's got the experience that she doesn't have. I think she's only been a 00 for 2 years or something. But I mean, there's that moment with her and Moneypenny, which I thought was quite amusing, when she asked about who shot first or whatever, or something like that. But I actually preferred this trailer to the first one. And I mean, at the time, I really enjoyed the first trailer. I thought it was pretty intriguing. But thinking about it now, it was just kind of an extended teaser. But this is a proper sort of epic theatrical trailer. But I think you're right. I think there is confidence that this film is going to be very good, and I am impressed from what I've seen. And I just hope and pray that Daniel Craig goes out on the best note possible. It looks like he will. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, like I said, Spectre got a mixed reaction. So I hope this trailer puts the people that didn't like Spectre, I hope this trailer puts their minds at rest. Again, I mean, there's always going to be people that won't like it. I mean, you can't please everyone, but I think the stakes are high, and this is the longest Bond film as well. It's 2 hours 43 minutes, so it's got a lot to tie up, I think. But and about it looking sci-fi, I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, potentially, I would say it looks slightly more outlandish in the sense of the villain's lair. But I don't see any sci-fi vibes personally. I mean, it depends on the plot as well. But I think this one could potentially be dealing with nuclear warfare, because there's that shot where there's that missile or something goes down a hatch or something, and then Bond and Nomi end up flying a vehicle in the water or something. So they might be going onto a sub, or Safin might be someone who who lives out in the sea or something. I don't know, but. So it did give me vibes of The Spy Who Loved Me. I mean, I don't know about you, Jack, but I definitely got vibes of the old films watching this trailer.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing personally. I think it's good that they sort of. I kind of like the way the Daniel Craig era's evolved. Like the first two were very gritty, very realistic films dealing with terrorism. And Skyfall, it went more towards the classic Bond, but it still felt like a gritty film. And then Spectre really felt like a classic Bond film. So I'm kind of glad that they're sort of going for a classic Bond feel for this. And yeah, no, I
Yeah,
mean, hopefully hopefully it puts all the naysayers to Spectre. Hopefully it shuts them up because with the Daniel Craig era so far, Casino Royale got very positive reception. Then Quantum got mixed. Then Skyfall got very positive reception, and then Spectre got mixed. So hopefully this will be very positive reception because Casino got like 90% in Rotten Tomatoes. Quantum got 60% then
yeah,
Skyfall 90%. Skyfall got 90%, and then Spectre got 60%. So hopefully this one will get like 90% or at least 80%. I mean, hopefully this is another one, like another classic from Daniel Craig. I mean, I want to love this film. I want to give it a 10 out of 10, but I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10 just because it's a new Bond film. But I want
yeah,
this to be a good. I want this to be a good send off for Daniel Craig. I want it at least to be a good send off. I want it to be great, but I at least want it to be good because I mean we've been waiting for 5 years, and if it turns out to be disappointing, then it'll be a real shame. But yeah,
yeah. And I mean, there's the only thing that this trailer didn't show was anything about the girl, potentially who is being rumored to be his daughter or something. Um, so that makes me wonder if she is actually his daughter or if she is going to be in the film or whether she is just young Madeline. So that part to me is the only thing that I'm not so certain about. But that's fine. It's not a criticism. Sorry.
I was going to say I think that little girl might. I don't think it'll be Bond's daughter or Madeline. I think it might be since this film sort of deals with genetics and cloning. I think it might be a clone of Madeline. That's what I've heard anyway. I think and I think it might be a clone of Madeline. I mean, I'm not sure, but that might be the case. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, potentially could. I mean, the ending is a subject which I am very interested about because potentially the film needs to end in a new way that so Bond can't just retire again. That's kind of been done. Like Craig's Bond has retired in Skyfall and he retired at the end of Spectre, so he can't retire again because it's just a bit cliche. So I mean, I'm hoping they're not going to kill him off. I don't want them to kill him off. So my preferred ending is he either returns to MI6 and continues as how he was before, or if this girl, whatever, whether she be a clone, his daughter, or whatever, maybe he settles down and he takes her in and raises her. Perhaps. I mean, that's something I wouldn't mind. But the ending is certainly something that I'm skeptical about. But that would be the only thing I'm skeptical about. The ending could potentially help or hinder the quality of the film. I mean, I know there's 3 alternate endings that have been shot by Cary Fukunaga, but obviously only one of them makes the film. So yeah, but I think with After the Long Wait, we deserve not just a good film, but a great film. It deserves to be
yeah.
great. But in terms of the ending of the film, obviously this trailer isn't going to give away the ending. But what would you sort of hope for in the ending? Because yeah,
Well, at the ending of the film, I just hope Bond lives. I mean, there's been a lot of rumors that he might die in this film at the end, and I just think that'd be a real sour note to end the Daniel Craig era if Bond like kills a villain and then he gets killed himself by somebody else or gets killed by the villain just before he dies. Um,
yeah,
I know that's I know that's I think it's an idea they considered killing Bond off. I don't know if they're still going with that, but I mean I'm pretty sure because he filmed 3 different endings. I'm pretty sure one of the endings is Bond gets killed off. Another ending will probably be Bond walking off into the sunset. So yeah, I mean, personally, what I would want is I'd want I mean, I think Bond will be retired at the start of the film, and he'll come out of retirement because like Lashana Lynch is the new 007, and she's been in the new 007 for like a couple of years or whatever. So I think he'll come out of retirement at the start of the film. But what I want him to come out of retirement, defeat the bad guy, and then, probably just have him stay on MI6. Or I think if he does leave at the end, he might leave at the end because Daniel Craig's like 52 now. I think what they'll do is they'll bring him out of retirement. At the end, he'll defeat the villain, and then because he's defeated the villain, that's his like last mission, and he'll probably walk off into the sunset with Madeline and
Yeah.
his daughter or whatever. And
Well,
I think that would be a nice ending.
Yeah. Assuming that Madeline actually lives. I mean, there's no guarantee she'll actually live. I mean, although we know she's not going to die at the beginning, but at the same time, they could kill her off towards the end. I mean, if this whole daughter thing is happening, I wouldn't be surprised if Madeline dies, even if the girl is a clone of her. And that the girl has nowhere to go. Bond takes her in potentially, but I think it's an interesting point of speculation with the ending. But as far as the trailer is concerned, I mean, obviously we were already sold on this film long ago, but I think it's fair to say that the hype has returned after such a long wait during the coronavirus pandemic. It's nice to know that we're going to get it, but I think the film is going to do well, despite America's issues with COVID at the moment. I mean, they can't keep delaying this film because they'll just keep losing money. But I'm sure there are certain states that probably won't get to see it straight away. But then again, they can always bring out the film again next year and re-release it to get some more money. So it's going to take a while for it to accumulate the same amount of money, but it will probably do it. I mean, in the UK, I think it'll be fine. It's just everyone's got to be socially distanced. So until further notice, there's only going to be 50% of people in the screens. But with the amount of showings that they can have, I think they'll be fine because there's nothing else coming out in November apart from the Pixar film Soul, but that comes out after No Time to Die. So, I mean, I don't know about Ireland, but certainly in England, it looks as though we'll be okay in November.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Godzilla versus King Kong comes out in November as well. I might be wrong, or it could be October. I don't know, but yeah.
I mean, I'll check, but I think it got delayed from what I heard. It got delayed until next. But yeah, I mean, anyway, the bottom line is we're definitely getting this film this year, which is great news. It'd be nice to end the year on a good note because of this COVID pandemic. It really put a downer on everyone, and this is really going to lift everyone's spirits, and it'll be a nice way to enter 2021 as well.
Yeah. By the way, Zachary Antle said that he's okay with them killing this version of Bond because they could reboot it with the next actor. I mean, personally, I think I've said this before, but I think you agree with me. I wouldn't want them to kill off Bond because they haven't killed off Bond in any of the other films, and I mean, they probably will reboot it with the next actor, but I would really like them to just continue on the series with a new actor and keep the MI6 regulars. I'd like to see Ray Fiennes in a few more films as M, and I would like to see Naomi Harris in a few more films as Moneypenny, and the same with Ben Whishaw. I mean, I heard Ben Whishaw said this might be his last film, but I'd really like them after this film, instead of just rebooting the whole franchise again, I would really like them to keep on Ray Fiennes as M and Naomi Harris as Moneypenny and Ben Wishaw's Q, like the old Bond films, when they cast George Lazenby and Roger Moore, they just kept the MI6 regulars. So I kind of wish they'd do that for the next Bond actor, but who knows?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't see why they can't follow that formula because at the end of the day, I mean, even if they do reboot it, they're not going to go down the Casino Royale route because they've done that and they've done it perfectly. So there's no need to retread that of him becoming Bond again. I think they will just continue it. Maybe not necessarily in the same timeline as No Time to Die. They might ignore the Craig movies, but they could keep the MI6 regulars, like you say, and just have some new adventures. I mean, what they might do for Bond 26 is they might go back to basics and just, I mean, because it could be they might try and get it out for the 60th anniversary. I mean, it's going to be a bit tight, but and also with COVID, it might be difficult. But if they really wanted to do that, then they'd have to start it soon. But I don't know if it's going to happen because of COVID. But regardless of when it releases, I think Bond 26 will be back to basics, introducing the new guy and getting him under people's belts. Oh, sorry, no, that sounds wrong. He's getting him under the franchise's belts and getting him sold to the audience. I mean, I don't know what it will be, but apparently Phoebe Waller-Bridge is going to come back and write the script, so that's good. That's good. I mean, we'll see what happens with that, but yeah, I don't know who I'd want to be the next Bond, but yeah, I just want Craig to go out on a good note, and I can't see them killing him. I mean, as well, they call the film No Time to Die, so it would kind of be pointless if they killed him. It would make the title kind of irrelevant, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, that kind of is all I have to say, really. I mean, I'm also intrigued to hear the rest of the soundtrack, the Hans Zimmer's score. It sounds like it's going to be really good, but also I think going back to Jamaica will be nice, and that will be a nice sort of homage to the classic Bond films like Live and Let Die and Dr. No. We've not been to Jamaica for quite a while, and yeah, I think some of the locations are going to be really, really good for this one. Yeah.
Yeah. And just briefly talking about the MI6 regulars, yeah, they could keep Ray Fiennes as M if they rebooted the series with the next guy, because they did the same with Judi Dench. Like, you had her in all 4 of the Brosnan movies, and then they rebooted the whole series with Daniel Craig. And yeah, sorry about that. Just had a bit of cough, but yeah, they rebooted the whole series with Daniel Craig, and they could keep on Ray Fiennes as M, because I think it would be personally a shame if this was his last film, because he's only been M for a couple of movies, Spectre and this one. I mean, I guess you could count Skyfall, but not really. He's only M at the very end of the movie, so he's only been M for 2 movies. He's only been M for 2 movies, and personally, I think he should play M for quite a bit longer. Like, I mean, you know, I mean, you had Robert Brown as M with Timothy Dalton and Roger Moore, so, you know, and you had Bernard Lee with Sean Connery and Roger Moore and George Lazenby. So I'd say keep on Ray Fiennes as M. I would like to see him for at least 2 or 3 more films as M. You know, I think to have him as M for only 2 films would really be a wasted opportunity. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's all subject to how he feels, but I agree. It would be a waste if he decided to just pack it in after No Time to Die. I can understand from a certain point of view because of the Craig timeline and feeling that maybe he wouldn't feel like he was in place if he stayed. But I think they should just wait and see. Let No Time to Die come out. Let that try and be successful, which it probably will. And see what happens with the producers will probably ask them to come back anyway. I mean, you know, Skyfall made a good decision in reintroducing the MI6 regulars or bringing in the new team, and yeah, it was fine. I mean, like you said, when Brosnan left and they transitioned to Craig, Judi Dench still fit in the series like a glove. So I see no reason why these people can't. I mean, we all love them. I mean, they were great in Spectre. I mean, I'm not saying that they need to have vital roles in all the films, but even if they do just come back and have the odd scene here and there, it will still be nice to have them. But obviously for the Craig era, they've had to include them a bit more. I mean, it looks like in No Time to Die, they're going to be included quite a bit as well, like they were in Spectre. But no, this is good. This is very this is very exciting. So yeah, I don't know what else to really say. And I think that the actors look great, and again, the locations look great. It looks like it's well shot. The story is just looks so intriguing, and I think this is going to be a very special film. You know, whether how good it is or not. And let's hope it's been worth the wait.
Yeah, no, I really hope so. I mean, this trailer is definitely better than the first one, and I'm really looking forward to this film. I mean, we've been waiting for ages for a new Bond film. You know, Spectre was, half a decade ago nearly, and we've been waiting patiently for a very long time, and we haven't had news in a very long time. And this film was delayed and delayed and delayed. So, I think this will be the last delay. I mean, I could be wrong. They could decide, you know what, we're going to push it back anyway. I mean, I don't think they will because they've released a new trailer and they've released a new poster. So I think they'd be mad to delay it again. I mean, they already did that in April. They released the posters and the trailer and then they delayed it. And then, if they did the same again, then they're just going to be a laughing stock because it's like, what, you're going to release another poster and another trailer and then delay it again. It's like, there has to be a certain cutoff point where you release this film. So, I mean, Tenet's doing well at the box office. It's made 53 million in its first week, which is a very good sign. So, I say get this film released. Let's get it out in the cinema. Let's all go back and enjoy James Bond on the big screen. And I think it will make loads of money because the last Bond film was, half a decade ago, and it's and it's also it's Daniel Craig's last Bond film, so I think it'll make a lot of money. It may not make as much money as like Skyfall or Spectre, but I still think it'll make a good amount of money. So I say that let's get it released and
exactly, because this is the most expensive Bond movie made thus far. I mean, I don't know about inflation or whatever, but we'll discuss that later. But and with all the delays, all the production issues, I think people are just sick of waiting for it. And I think I know there was that rumor about them delaying it till next year, but I'm glad they've decided not to do that because I think also for them, from their point of view, they're just going to lose out on so much more money. 2021 is getting overcrowded with films that have been delayed. And to push it all the way back to next summer is pointless. No one's going to be interested as well by that point. They'll just have said, "Oh, shove it on streaming," and they can't shove it on streaming because they won't make the same profit. So I think because also they know that there's not many other films that are going to be out at this time, even with COVID, the social distancing in cinemas, and like you say, Tenet's doing well. I see no reason why not to release it. So yeah, get it out there. And like I said, I mean, Craig has also been the most successful Bond financially. He's brought in the most money out of all 6 actors. So I don't see why No Time to Die wouldn't be a financial success, even if the movie is badly reviewed. I still think that it's going to make its money. Like you say, it's been so long since Bond. People are just fed up. They want to get out to the cinema, and so and it clearly shows by the box office figures of Tenet. So please, everyone, support this film in November. Please, it will be worth. And I'm sure it will have a long run. It will probably run into December as well. So yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, Sam left a question. He said, I think it's to me. He said, I don't want Bond to walk off from the sunset because that would mean that Bond is a code name, which is something I don't like. Well, no, actually, it doesn't mean that, Sam. What I mean is Bond lives at the end and he walks off into the sunset and he retires or whatever. No, I mean, I'm not saying James Bond is a code name. I'm not saying someone else would come in after Bond has left and take up the name James Bond.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, I mean, they've already established that 007. I mean, we already knew this, but 007's just, an assigned number for an MI6 agent. What I was saying was, is, it's not a code. The name James Bond isn't a code name. What I was saying is, Bond at the end, he defeats a villain, and, he's already old now, so he just retires and goes off into the sunset. No one would take his name, James Bond. There would just be a new 007 after that. But I mean, I think they're probably going to reboot it after, this film anyway. Yeah, it's either going to be a reboot like Casino Royale, or it's going to be a soft reboot. But yeah,
I think it's going to be a soft reboot. I'll be very surprised if they do a Casino Royale again and basically start the origins again. I think that would be a bit tedious, but we'll see what they've got. I mean, I think the odds of this timeline continuing are pretty slim. I would be very surprised if the Craig era, like if this timeline continues, because No Time to Die is being marketed as a conclusion, and with the Craig era being, it almost pretty much, you can almost say it's sort of separate to the rest of the films. I see.
Well, it is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I see no harm in doing a reboot. I mean, to be honest, it's kind of inevitable. They're going to reboot it in some way, but as long as they don't do the origins again, I'm fine with it. But we'll see. I mean, it does depend on the ending of this film as well, so that's another thing. But by the movie's runtime, I would say the ending could potentially be quite long. So we'll see. I mean, not to the level of Return of the King or anything, but there could be an epilogue. Perhaps.
Sorry to interrupt you. The only thing I am a little bit concerned about is the runtime. I mean, it's 2 hours and 45 minutes, which is very long for a Bond film. I mean, the last Bond film, Spectre, that was the longest Bond film, 2.5 hours. It seems every Daniel Craig film sort of beats the record for the longest Bond film. Like, I think Casino Royale was the longest Bond film up to that point. And then Quantum of Solace is the shortest Bond film. And then you had Skyfall, which was very close to being one of the longest. And then you had Spectre, which was the longest. And then you'll have this, which is the longest out of all of them. So it's funny that Daniel Craig is the longest running runtime for a Bond film and the shortest runtime for a Bond film. But I mean...
But to be fair, though, wouldn't you want to take all that you can get after such a long wait?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not complaining about the runtime. I'm just saying, like, some people might find it to be too long, because one criticism of Spectre that I've seen from a lot of people was they thought it was too long at 2.5 hours. They thought it was sort of dragged out. I mean, I disagree. I thought it was pretty well paced for 2.5 hours, but that was a common criticism of Spectre. So, I mean, I may be wrong, but I do think maybe some people will complain about it being nearly 3 hours long, because we never had a Bond film that's essentially nearly 3 hours long. But, it is Daniel Craig's last one, so I think, it'll be well paced. I mean, it better be well paced, and I mean, personally, I think this is the longest length they should go for a Bond film. I think maybe the next Bond film should be 2 hours, because we haven't had a Bond film that's 2 hours in quite a while. Because I mean, like, all the Daniel Craig films have either been 2.5 hours or an hour and 48 minutes or whatever, like Quantum. So I'd say make the next one 2 hours long, because we've had a nearly 3 hour Bond film. But yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not too worried about run times, as long as the films are paced well, as you say. Like, run times are run times. I mean, they gave us the run time a long time ago, so before the delay, of course. So I kind of expected it to be longer than Spectre, to be honest, because there's so much to tie up. So I'm not surprised that this film is almost 3 hours long. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it, and I think a lot of fans will actually love the fact that it's a bit longer, because we've been starved of Bond for a while. But I mean, yeah, there's probably going to be some people that will complain it's too long, but we'll see. I mean, at the end of the day, it looks great. So that's kind of it. One more thing before we sort of close off. Harry just mentioned the line, "The past isn't dead," which I think is a great line that Bond said at the very beginning. So thanks for that, Harry. I nearly forgot about that. So yeah, is there anything you want to say, Jack, before we end here? I think we're kind of done, aren't we?
Just bring on November. I'm really looking forward to this film. And it better not get delayed again, or else heads will roll.
Yeah, I think they'll lose their fan base if they delay the film again. But no, I think this is it. I think they've put this new trailer out. They've started the marketing campaign. That this has got to be it. They wouldn't do this if they weren't confident about the November release date. If the COVID issues spike, then of course they won't have a choice. But let's hope and pray that COVID stays as it is, at least in the UK, and hopefully it improves in America. But I mean, America are gonna get this film after we do anyway. So I just hope that more states will be able to come out of lockdown and open their cinemas up so they can see the film. But or offer the Americans the film on streaming. You know, that might be the only other way to do it with the COVID issue. But I guess that's another discussion for another day. But yeah, and thanks to everybody in the live chat. We appreciate all the comments and the discussions. It was very good to watch this trailer and do it live and whatever. And yeah, well, I mean, I'm going to review the trailer on my channel anyway. I don't know about you, Jack.
Just
but,
do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, the book.
Yeah, so I don't know about you, Jack, but I'm going to review it on my channel. And yeah, 2 months to go. Not long. So all exciting stuff. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching and listening, and stay tuned for more content at some point. And thanks very much to Jack for joining me on this. And until next time, I'm Mr. Tarnus11. This is Jack the Film Fanatic. See you soon. Bye for now.